welcome back. Not exactly how I had wanted it to go, but we'll be fine. So I'm going to walk you through a few changes that we have in the spring. So let me just remind you that in the spring, this is where you get your actual AP course credit. So you'll have 5 points added. You take your exam in May, and because it's the true credit-bearing course, it's a little bit more structured, but the content I think is easier. So everybody always tells me that the spring's easier than fall. You're not trying to learn, what your tests look like in here. You know what tests look like. You're not worried about notebooks. You know what your notebook looks like. So some of this will be a repeat because you're going to hear that, a whole lot of it hasn't changed. But I want you to turn to the first blank page you have in your notebook, and let's just walk through the structure of the course. My big concern, and I don't know what to say about this except virtual's not easy. It's not. You're not in an online course. Online courses are completely self-paced. You really don't have any interaction with your teacher. They're built to be this complete package. That's not what you're in. You're in this cobbled up, crazy, batched together thing that works when you're home by yourself right now, works when you're hybrid, so you're with me in your home, and then works when you're just here with me, full face-to-face. That's some kind of weird-looking thing. So being able to navigate it is the key to reducing your stress. And so let's just walk through the way this works. So Canvas is going to be obviously where you go for everything. That's going to be for every course you have. There's more guidelines that come from the district. Really, it comes from the school. But we're going to be on the same page a little better, I think, as teachers. And that's a lot of that due to the feedback that, I asked you and I sent it to Hampton and Hampton sent it out. And I don't know. There are a lot of things that are changed because of you. So you go to Canvas and everything is going to be, it's always been and it will still be, it's going to be clickable from the home page. So this is your key. This is where you go. And on the home page, you're going to have a list of items that you need to do. And they're going to be broken into 2 different sets. When we were hybrid, we had the do these when you're home, do these when you're in class set. Well, for these first 2 weeks at least, we don't have the do this when you're in class. So what I've done instead, because I told you the spring is more structured, you're going to have one set of work. So these will be videos. They won't always be notes. Sometimes they'll be virtual labs or things that you'll do to collect data, and they won't always be notes, okay? But there'll be videos, there'll be a list, and this first set, so half of what your work will be, is going to be due by Wednesday morning. It's going to be Wednesday at 8 a.m. Okay, so you're going to have a list of things with 2 videos, work, whatever it looks like, in this one list. And this work has to be done and completed by Wednesday. Really, I'm going to make it at 7. Because, well, we can leave 8 because I don't have an 8 block. By 8 a.m. And whatever this is, then you're going to have a 1 time a week Zoom meeting on Wednesday. So then you'll have a Zoom live on Wednesday. Everybody Zooms with me on Wednesday. So you need to have this work completed before you join the Zoom. So these get you ready for your Zoom. Okay, and you can access the Zoom links on Wednesday. We'll come back to this. Then you're going to have a second list of work that's going to be due by midnight. Y'all don't like midnight. Okay, we'll do 7 a.m. on Monday instead of Sunday at midnight. So this is the end of the week. So it's the stuff that comes after Wednesday when we've Zoomed, and you'll do these by 7 a.m. Monday. Now, this splits your week into really three pieces, right? You're going to have Monday and Tuesday. Your goal is to do at least the 2 videos that are due by Wednesday. Then you're going to have Wednesday where we Zoom, and then we're going to have the Thursday, Friday, I'm talking about school days here, where you're going to have 2 videos. So here's what we've established, and this comes from you all. You know, my brain said that we're supposed to meet for an hour and a half so I could make an hour and a half video. That lasted 1 video. Y'all quickly told me that it takes you much longer to do an hour and a half of notes. An hour and a half video is much more than an hour and a half of notes. So here's what we've decided as a group. That the expectation for time, so time for 1 video, which is the equivalent of 1 class period, is 47 minutes max. That means minutes right there. That's what you told me. That's my budget. So what you'll have for these videos is there'll be 1 assignment in Canvas that's going to be per video. And in that assignment, you're going to have 2 options. And you can flip back and forth on these depending on what your week looks like. Option number 1 is you do the video all at once. So it's going to be 1 about 47-minute video. Okay? Or you can break it up into, I'm going to take the video that's 47 minutes, and you would do 2 or 3, it just depends on where the natural stopping place is, videos that add together to be the same 47-minute video. So if Edpuzzle, which I'll talk about Edpuzzle in a minute, if it gives you a fit and you were at minute 46 and your, I don't know, food was boiling over in the stove and you paused it and then it lost everything and it made you start over, if you have problems with that, you're going to want to do these shorter little pieces. So here's the 1 video, and it's 47 minutes long. You could watch it all at once, or it might be cut into, you know, part 1, part 2, part 3, and you have to complete all 3. They're the same. So either way. Because I had a student who made this suggestion. She kept having a lot of times where that it was kicking her out, and then she'd come back and then had to start over, and that is not my desire. I do not want to waste your time at all. So 2 videos, that's being equivalent to 2 days worth of work. This will be 1 day live, and then you'll have another 2 days worth of work as videos. The videos will be some notes, some like, I don't know, virtual lab, some type of data collection. We're clear about that? So instruction is going to be through videos 100%, and then we'll do something where that we work with either a free response question that's based on whatever you had to learn here, but you need to bring this information with you to the Zoom. That's why there's a due date of Wednesday morning. Okay, so let's go back through this real quick because this is a little different. Before, everything had a due date of the end of the week. Well, we're in a credit-bearing course, and so it's not going to be that way now. You're going to have 2 videos, the first part of the week work, that you need to get done by the middle of the week before you Zoom. And then you'll have 2 more videos that you finish before the next week's work starts. Okay? Same amount of work, it's just got a midweek due point. All right. That's Canvas. Let's talk about Edpuzzle. So Edpuzzle I put into, so it's going to go into Canvas. So you go through Canvas, but Edpuzzle lets me take videos, pause the video, ask a question, and Edpuzzle collects the information for me. And it can grade it, it can do all of that. So we will still use Edpuzzle. So the key for Edpuzzle is, here's the little parts of it. You can't skip. You have to watch the whole video. And by that, let's put on here, watch the entire video. If you have 1 second left, it shows it's not done. Like, you have to watch every second. That's on you to make sure that it shows is complete. Like, you need to check that. So one thing that's different this semester, so this is a huge big change, is that your Edpuzzle questions that are in there are going to be quiz questions. So you're no longer just going to have this formative assessment of, hey, did that make sense for you? Here's a couple of questions on what you just got. If you didn't understand it, I'm using that information to help me know what to do. So Edpuzzle grades in Canvas count. They count as small, not big, small quiz grades. So as you're taking notes, you need to really pay attention, and you need to do your very best to get these answers correctly, because they're going to count as a grade. That's one thing. Then we're still going to have a second part of it. So yes, we've always had this part, and I told you, no, the grade doesn't matter. I'm using it to help me know what you know. Now the grade does matter because you're in the actual credit-bearing course, more like college, and they would want to be able to do a quiz within the instruction, and it should count. So now it counts. You also get a grade for doing the Edpuzzle. So Edpuzzle is complete. That equals 20 points. So that's a second grade. So here, maybe, let's say there were 10 questions, and you got a 9 out of 10. So you'd have a 90% on your quiz. It's worth 10 points. And then you also, yes, I watched the video, took the notes, and you'd get another grade that's a 20 out of 20. So both of these will be in Canvas. This one is, did you complete the Edpuzzle on time? So, yes, I'll take late work. No, you won't like it. So if it's late, I'm not going to give you 90% because I'm thrilled you're doing it. You're going to get 70% credit if it's late. So if it's late, but you finished it, you'll get a 14 out of 20. Okay? So don't hurry through them and do the questions terrible, and don't do them late, because it only takes 5 videos worth of notes to have a 100-point grade, like a test. So this is super important, the Edpuzzle piece. There's accountability there, but now it's changed. So you go into Edpuzzle, for the assignment. You click actually on this home page in Canvas. It opens up the assignment in Edpuzzle. Yes, you have to take the notes in Edpuzzle. For those very few of you who had the notes in your notebook, but you didn't do the notes through Edpuzzle, I don't like that. You'll get a 0 here. We're not doing that. Notes are not copying. That means nothing. You learn nothing. It is a complete waste of your time. So you either do the notes in Edpuzzle and you get a grade, or if they're in your notebook, so your notes are in your notebook, but you did not do Edpuzzle, so you copied them from something, whatever you did, you get a 0 out of 20. It does not take many of those before you can't pass the course. Okay? So this is meant to push you to do the notes in the format that we agreed upon as a group. So we agreed that we would, regardless of, we're here, full face-to-face, we're hybrid, we're virtual, we do not change the structure of this course. It looks exactly the same all the time. Okay? And that means instruction is through videos. That takes a tremendous amount of time for me. And I'm more than happy to do it. But if you think you're going to just copy notes in the notebook and I'm going to be thrilled, you are wrong. Okay? We definitely had people who should have made an A in here who, I'm talking if, like, it wasn't for the grace of me, would have failed last semester just because of this. I'm not having it. Okay? If this starts, immediately we will have a meeting with parents in the teal room. Immediately. Like, we're not starting off that way. All right. So at this point then, now that we know that Edpuzzle, there's going to be 2 assignments. One's going to be the actual taking of the notes. It has a quiz built in. You get the grade as a quiz. Then there's going to be another assignment that's just, did you do it? It's worth 20 points. And you'll get either of these grades in there. There's no middle grades. Like, I don't care what this grade is. Either you did it, it was late, or you didn't do it. Okay, so your Canvas grade now is correct. I will also put in your test grades in there. So instead of the Canvas grade being a hot mess, which it has been before, it's going to be correct. So you'll be able to, it's going to be the same as what's in Aspen. And I'm hoping and praying, but I have no true belief that they'll ever get it to where they talk. So I'm over it. But now you can go to your Canvas grade and you can know what your Aspen grade is already. So I'll maintain both. Okay, so we talked about due dates. We talked about Zoom. Okay, let's talk about the Zoom for a second. Let's make a big thing here. Okay, so Zoom. You can join in any block. I don't care. If you're in B block and you're right in the middle of doing something, maybe you're finishing up your math homework and you'd rather finish it up while you were doing it, you can join in a different block. So you can join in any block. It does not matter. There will be a link to the Zoom codes, and the Zoom codes are going to be different per block. It's going to be on the Canvas homepage. Everything is on the Canvas homepage. You have to join on Wednesdays. This is on Wednesdays. You have to join. You can join any block. If you're in D block and you're going to go golfing and you're wanting to get this done and it's the only thing you have left and you want to join in B block so you can go golf in the afternoon, I don't care. You have to join. Which brings us to Another thing that did not happen in the fall, but is now going to happen, which is attendance. This only is a big deal when we are fully virtual, like we are for the first 2 weeks for sure, or when we're hybrid. Face-to-face, if we're 100%, obviously if I see you, you're here. This is the way attendance works. All right, so I don't know where it cut off. This thing is being so weird. Let's go back to this part. So anyway, you have to attend. We're at the place now where this is a school-wide expectation, and I can't just kind of do what I want to do, which I did in the fall, which was, basically those people who didn't take their notes for the week should have had 5 absences. You'd have been in truancy and going to court over not doing your work. So let's not do that. If you don't attend the Wednesday Zoom, any block, you can join any block. If you miss it, you're absent. I will post the video of the Zoom, but you're still absent. It's not going to change that. If on Wednesday at 8 a.m. your 2 videos are late, that equals 2 absences. Because those were scheduled for Monday and Tuesday's work, and you didn't do them on time. So that would give you 2 absences. So if you make them up, you should, but the absences won't change. If by Sunday at, what did I say, 7 a.m., 8 a.m.? No, we did Monday. Monday at, let's make it 8 so that there's consistency there, because I don't have an A block. So Monday at 8 a.m., if your second set of videos for the week are late, that equals 2 more absences. So if the world clears up and we're supposed to have prom or anything else, you do not want to accumulate absences, and you especially don't want to accumulate them in mass. Like you could have 10 absences in just these 2 weeks. That's enough to kick you out of doing most of anything and put you right in the crosshairs of going through truancy. So this is a pretty much non-negotiable through the school. They want to know who is not doing their work while they're home. And this is one of the ways that they're going to monitor that. So do your work by the due date, okay? What I'm asking you to do is by no means unreasonable. It's nothing, it's not even as much as really what we do when we're here. So I'm okay with this. I think that's the way that they're going to monitor who's where. But we just need to know that, well, but I didn't do my stuff on time in the fall if you didn't mark me absent. That's true, I did not. I felt like we were doing the best we could, and we were pedaling as fast as we can, and we were learning. But we know now, and this is an expectation by the school, and I'll definitely follow whatever they tell me to do. Okay? So we've talked about, I think, everything on here. Let's go through and write down here that, like for your notebook, it is not optional. So if you sat in class and didn't take notes and you think that's okay, it's not okay in here. You have to do it. So the way it works is you're going to cut your strip, you're going to glue it over on the side, and you write your notes to the side of it. If you're missing your glue ends, like I don't know where I put them, I had them, but I can't find them because we've already done chapter 9 and chapter 10 was in that same packet. I will attach a file that you're going to click to print. So you can print them yourself, and I'll attach a file that you click to print from the home page. and we do a notebook check. And it's at least one per exam. Sometimes it's more. So we have a checklist. You have to show me your notes. If you're missing something, usually there's about 25 items. And so that means that there are 4 points each. And then you get a grade. And it's not just notes. Like if we did something where we did a practice set of problems and we glued them in, that's going to be a page. So we just flip through them together and you get a grade for that. So this means it's 100 points. It is equal to the exam. So it's meant to be that's what you need to do to prepare, and I'm giving you a grade because that's how valuable that preparation is for the exam. Exams will stay the same. They're cumulative. They'll be 2 days. So you know all that part. You will, at some point, start having, and we may even start it next week, open notes quizzes, which is another reason for having your notes done, where that you'll be able to use your notes. They'll be, they said they don't really want us to do timed things in Canvas, so I'm going to have to think about this. Let me think. The other thing that we will start doing is AP Classroom. You'll start having assignments that are in AP Classroom. Now, I can't link that to Canvas. They do not work together. They're separate. That's just the way it is. So you'll have a Canvas grade, but you're going to have to access the work through AP Classroom. They have already made what they call personal progress checks. I don't know if they're PPCs, I think. But anyway, they're per unit. They're made up already. And so we'll figure all that out. They have to have a lockdown browser. It's obnoxious. Hopefully we can just do them once we come back. But we'll see. But this definitely starts. Okay? We used to be done by spring break. Like all of our content was done by spring break. That's not happening this year. And then we took just practice exams and all that. But I don't know what it's going to look like this year. So we're just not going to worry about it. We'll get done what we can get done. Let me look at my notes real quick. Videos are in parts. Yes, I talked about that. So this week, I didn't talk about that. So this is the first week. It's going to be all review. So we may have, I don't know, just some practice work with cellular respiration, and then I'll go back over cellular respiration with you. So it's going to be cellular respiration plus at least one or more virtual lab for cellular respiration. It's one of the hardest things we do, and here we are, we ended with it. I have no idea where it stopped again. I'm going to throw the laptop out the window. Anyway, you could put spring AP biology up here. I'm going to have to go back and watch this and see what the problem is, but this is going out to you, so it's around 30 minutes, just so that you're going to have a full idea what's going on. So this will be one of your actual first videos for the week. And I'll put it in Edpuzzle, and remember it counts as a quiz. So I'm going to put questions in there, and you can answer them, and they'll count as a quiz. Okay? I'll probably send this out to parents, too, just so they know how we set stuff up. But if you are struggling at all in any of your classes, I am begging you to email your teachers right away. Don't get to where that you're so far behind that you feel like there's no point. We don't want to start that this way. We don't want to start the whole part feeling defeated. So anyway, I love you. I think you're wonderful.